Hi, I'm Lacey Prince. I'm the Executive Director at the Arkansas Air Military Museum. I have been working here since 2020, and we have worked hard to make this a better museum. It was did not have any form of management until 2020. From 2015 to 2020, there was no actual management here, and so it had kind of fallen to ruin. And the more work we do, the more fun things we find out. So. The history of the museum opened, the Arkansas Air Museum opened in 1986. At the time, the Ozark Military Museum had been open since the 60s at the Siloam Springs Airport. They got kicked off Siloam Springs and moved to Springdale. They got kicked off Springdale and moved to Drake. So they became our next door neighbor. There actually used to be a fence that ran between the two museums, and you had to pay separate admission to come to both. So it was kind of a weird layout. During 2012-2014, Ozark Military Museum ran into some financial issues, and at that point is when the Arkansas Air Museum absorbed them, and we became Arkansas Air Military. The building that the Arkansas Air Museum was based out of is the 1944 White Hangar. The White Hangar was built for the purpose of World War II training and housed our Piper J3 Cubs. During the wartime effort, the University of Arkansas had students that came out here to learn how to fly who could then go join the military and be pilots. So that was kind of the gist. This building in particular was actually one of the original terminals when this was the airport before XNA was built. So in here we have some exhibits about the original airlines that were based here, including scheduled skyways. If you are an Arkansas or a Fayetteville, Arkansas native, you know scheduled skyways. The joke was scheduled scareways. So flying in and out of Drake, if you've ever flown in and out of Drake, you know how unnerving it can be flying in and out of this airport. This airport is very much in a bowl, and that's actually why they had to move the main airport to XNA, where they can have some more room and fly bigger airplanes in. The largest airplane that can come in and out of this airport is a 737, and so that really limited them on some of the bigger airplanes like Delta and them were running. So I know for Miss Hallie, this is one of her least favorite areas, even though this is where her office is. This room has a lot of weird things that happened for a while. I say happened in past tense because it has significantly slowed down since 2022. We had a very prominent volunteer pass away, and one of the things he always told us is that he always said, "Hey guys, when I die, I want to come back and protect y'all," because we had so many issues for so long. Back here, if you have your hair in a ponytail, your ponytail's gonna get flipped. The bathroom doors, there's a bathroom right here, you'll hear the doors slam in there, the toilets will flush by themselves. Lots of really just weird noises. We used to keep, it actually bothered us so bad, we actually got rid of them. We used to keep American flags on each one of these cases, and they would randomly flutter. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, it's probably air conditioning. The first 3 years I worked here, we didn't have air conditioning or heating in this building. So it was very weird that there was even air coming through here. So that was kind of the weird ones. The one that I think is one that I can completely believe in is Mr. John P. McConnell. His museum shut down in 21, and when we first got all his artifacts, it was like 650 artifacts. So when we bring them into museums, there's a time period we had to go through every one and do a condition report and stuff like that, like know what we brought in. And we're doing that in where my office is because we have more storage up there. At the time, we had no storage in here. So we're going through them. It probably took us a year to go through all 650 artifacts. In that time, though, we had ran out of room for all these artifacts, so there was one of the cases up there that was completely empty. So we just kind of threw all the artifacts in there to have places like for it to be. And for about 6 months it was in that case, every afternoon a shadow man would walk across the front lobby. At first I'm like, oh, it's probably someone walking outside. I ignored it. It wasn't until it happened like 3 or 4 times, and every time my dog would like be kind of like laying, because she's a herding breed, so she's very attentive. So she stands up and like lowers her head and immediately starts growling. And I was like, oh, that's not fun. So we think that's John P. He is by no means mean. I think he just exists. So it's kind of one of those weird ones. I don't think he's here for good or evil. He's just here. Another one we get back here is what was that one? We get more Mayday calls back here occasionally. This is where we get the recordings, like we try to sit there and debunk my last group. Every time an airplane would take off, it would get really excited. Like somebody would start talking. Well, we're like, okay, what if it's the tower, or somehow picking up the tower conversation? So at one point we actually laid the tower conversation over the video, and there was nothing when that was happening. So unless the pilot and the passenger were talking on the radio headsets and we just can't hear it, I have no idea, but it was kind of freaky for the time period. But otherwise, like I said, this area has died down significantly since that happened. I do know that some of our lights will quit working randomly, but as you look across the room, you'll notice a lot of them aren't working. This building was built in the 60s and it has not had a single update since. So we don't know if it's just, you know, natural going out and coming back on. We do have a light in the back. We can turn every breaker off in the building. We can turn every light switch off, and that light stays on. We have no idea how or why, but it's on. So probably a fire hazard, I don't know yet. So we're talking about the case of Pierce McKinnon. Pierce McKinnon was a ace during World War II. He had 20 confirmed kills by the end of the war, and he's from Clarksville, Arkansas. He notably flew with the call sign Ridge Runner, which if you're from the Ozark, a Ridge Runner, if you're not from the Ozarks, you don't know what a Ridge Runner is, it's a moonshiner. So he flew with a Razorback on the side of his airplane because he did attend the University of Arkansas on a piano scholarship. But our most famous recording comes from him. We had a FAA agent, so the feds were here on our tour, and he had walked out to his car to get his jacket. He was ex-Coast Guard, and he got in his Navy jacket and put it on. And as he walked towards us, the recording goes, Navy in the ass. And all of us just freeze when it happened. And I'm like, there's no way. And then he continues to go on to cursing more about the Navy. So very interesting kind of recording on him. That is his real stuff. We have some of his stuff. I actually have some of his stuff at my house right now, which is kind of weird. I should bring that home, but he's a cool guy, and it was a cool recording. Alrighty, so this is my favorite airplane in the collection. This has a really fun paint job right now. It had a really cool job in its later years. This is a Lear 23. It was one of the first ones ever come off the line, and it was owned by Bobby Yonkin. It is now owned by the Yonkin Air Show family. Before it was owned by the Yonkins, it was owned by a guy named Barry Seal. Now, a lot of Arkansans, that will immediately set off alarms in your head because it was a very prominent portion of Arkansas history throughout the 60s to the 80s. If you don't know the story, I highly suggest you check out the movie American Made with Tom Cruise. It's not a great movie, but it tells a general sense of the story. Barry Seal was running drugs out of Mena, Arkansas in that time period. And to give you an idea of how many drugs he was running, $22 million a day. He was rich. So this was one of his jets after he got caught. This is what he would take him to fly his family around and or fly to DC to meet with the president for probation. The weird things that have happened in here, we have gotten Spanish-speaking ghosts. We don't know what that's about. We just move on. We also, my least favorite part of this airplane is I guess there's two bad parts I've had with this airplane. We have had a lot of other people, there's little kids over here right now, but little kids hate this airplane. They will not get inside of it. It's bizarre. I don't know if it's because it's dark to light or what. The issue I have is that's my office door right there. And one morning I walked out and it's like 7 a.m. It's like super early. I'm not even halfway awake yet. And I look up and I swear to everything, there were orange sunglasses looking back at me out of the window. I was like, because I'm supposed to be at the museum by myself and I'm not suddenly. And the bad part was he's looking at me and then he whips his head this direction, and me being dumb as I am, I look too. And I look back and it's gone. So kind of freaky. I do know that would be kind of weird because Barry never flew this plane. So one of our little jokes is it might be Bobby hanging out with us. We don't know. But we also, I've been touched. I've had other women touched in here. Some women say they feel like they're having their shoulders massaged. Though Barry was not a super attractive man, he tried his best to be a womanizer for the most part. And he was a very touchy-feely guy. So I was sitting on what we call the toilet seat. It's actually where you would use the bathroom. It's a normal seat you can sit on. And it was a warmer October, so we didn't even have the heat on in here. It was not cold enough for bath. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my knee gets so cold. I'm like, there must be a draft in here, but I'm like the farthest up in the cockpit you can get with no draft. And so someone finally brought the thermal cam around, and there was a perfect handprint on my knee. So that's one of the weird ones. Like I said, we do get a lot of Spanish speaking in there on recordings, and of course, women feel like they're being touched all the time. So though this room looks totally different now, this used to be one of the main hubs of the airport once upon a time. This was actually where, if you were here to buy fuel or anything like that, you had to come in this room. So like I said, main hub of just activity in general, in normal life. This is the room that we get told when they do voice sex sessions and stuff, you hear a very deep, dark cackle, especially if you accidentally trip or something. It always pops up. We've also had some weird things of debunking back here. One time we had, it's the cube or the puck that has a little antenna on it. We had like about right here, and somebody was holding it, or not holding it. We had moved a table over here to like set it on, and it was blinking at a weird rate. And we finally timed it, and it was every time the tower light would come across the window, it would blink. And so we'd be able to debunk some of the weirder stuff like that. One of the groups did get a little girl back here. How we kind of know who she is we think we have her grandmother here as well. And the grandmother has given us names and times and airplanes, like names. So we do know there was a family killed on approach here one time. It was a grandparents and 2 granddaughters. And we think one of the girls hangs out back here. I know me and Miss Hallie actively avoid this room at all costs because it kind of creeps us out. But the woman, she hangs up in our balcony area. And we always tell people that she warns us about bad things coming. So the week after my wedding, I walked into the office and the pipe above my desk had blown up. 2 weeks before my wedding, we had a ghost hunt, and during it, this woman's voice kept saying, water attic, over and over and over again. When they came to repair the pipe, it was actually a crack it was corrosion blow. It had been likely leaking for up to 6 weeks before it actually blew. So that was kind of one of those weird, like, oh, I can't debunk that. Like, I wish I could, but I can't. We also, we get a lot of slurs back here. When we have different people of color come back and do the ghost tours as well. So it's kind of a weird room. We get a lot of different reactions from time to time. During one of our first ghost hunts ever, one of the groups was a little bit more antagonistic and told this guy not to screw with us anymore. And for several weeks after that, me and Hallie would feel our hair flipped while we were back here, and if we had ponytails, the ponytail would get whacked real hard. And then we also had volunteers pushed down back here. So this is the room that I probably hate the most. I don't even like sitting here talking to you with my back turned. This is a room that people who don't even know the building is haunted tell us that there's a weird vibe. Don't know quite what it is. You hear weird noises back here. I think the most interesting part about it was during wartime, this was a big area for the paratroopers. I don't know if that's connected or not. This is also where we see the tall man in blue, which would have been in line with the airline uniforms that would have been worn in the time period. This was an airline building. I'm getting chills talking about it. So he is seen a lot ignoring people or being not necessarily rude, but notices you and ignores you anyway. He's seen walking through that door and out to that door and then passing through the door without any hint. So it's kind of an odd room. My weirdest experience out here was there's a ramp down here that I had just walked out of. And as you can tell, I wear cowboy boots most of the time, so I have a pretty loud step. And the group that we had here, they were still down in here. They were so creeped out they wouldn't turn the lights off. So that's kind of creepy. A ghost hunting crew that was too creeped out to turn the lights off. And so I had just walked up the wooden ramp, and they had heard me walk off. I was going to talk to one of the other investigators out here. And as I kind of turn the corner, it sounds like someone runs up behind me, and all that group jumps, turns around, and looks at me because they think I've run back at them. Kind of terrifying. Still don't know what that caused that. We get slurs back there. We get more of the slurs on this half of the building. So it's kind of weird, but time period wise, it does track. This building was built in the 40s when the nation was still very predominantly split. So, but yeah, we can walk back and see the parachute hole if you'd like. I think the worst part about y'all finding stuff back here is this is my phone call room. And so if I need to have like a super private phone call, I'll come back here. And now I don't want to. So this right here goes all the way up to technically a second story that we don't actually have. So it's just a little section that's 2 stories. And they would drop the parachutes from the top story and then use this area to fold them back up properly during the war. So really cool. And then they also had these big long tables in here where they could also fold like that as well. So kind of a weird area. I actually had high schoolers here 2 weeks ago, and I left 2 of them back here. They're like, can we not work back there anymore? I'm like, well, they're like, it's just creepy. It was just like, you could tell it really bothered them being back here. We do get people who report that there are orbs back here. I think, as I've told y'all, I don't really believe in orbs, so I have a hard time with that one. But y'all's video did spook us pretty well, so it's here. And I think this is the one we call this guy Ray back here. So this is our second hangar. This is where we get a lot of like daytime guests reporting crap. I say crap because sometimes it's so bizarre. I think that they're making it up just to mess with us. The number one thing that we get a lot of is you feel like you're being watched. Up there's a balcony. That balcony is where some offices used to be of some of the founding members of the museum. A lot of people feel like they're being watched. I'm like sitting here and I feel like I'm being watched right now. And so one of the other ones we get is we get different voices on recordings and stuff. And one of them actually gave a name one time. And it was about 2 weeks after he passed away. So we were like, hey, because when we know someone's passed away recently, he was like one of the founding members. And we're like, is this Bill? And it said, yeah. And we're like, oh, kind of thing. So his name's up there on the wall as well. We do get the Mayday calls. I think y'all received some of the, did y'all get the Mayday calls like we get?
I don't know if we had any Mayday calls.
So you do get occasionally on recordings Mayday calls. A few of these aircraft were crashed and have been restored since. Especially that silver one over there, it for sure crashed probably a dozen times. Okay. Those helicopters went down all the time. But yeah, we get prominent Mayday, and it actually will give coordinates on the Mayday call. It's very weird. You can never get the full coordinate to look it up or anything, but you get pieces and parts, and it does sound like it's actually on a radio. So it's kind of weird. And then the most common one we get the complaint of Adam. The reason we really call him Adam is this guy that's hanging out in the helicopter right now, that's Adam. So one of our little quirky things we do around the museum is we name all of our mannequins so we can discuss which mannequin we're talking about. Hey, can you go change Adam real quick for me? He needs a better uniform on. So for the longest, people would get spooked when they'd see him because he used to be up in one of the taller helicopters, and you'd walk in the door and he was immediately right there on you. And so that's why we named the ghost Adam originally, and we have also gotten the name Adam across the ghost things. We don't know if he knows that we call him Adam, that's why he goes by it, or what. We do get French speaking on the radios sometimes. We do have a vehicle that was owned by the Canadians before it came to us, the Canadian military. So we figured that might be part of it, who knows. But that's about the gist of it in this portion. But back there is what Adam finds out. Adam is reported as being tall, skinny, and dark-headed. I stand at about 5'11", and he is described as being about this tall on me. And I am about the tallest person who volunteers at this museum or works at this museum. So we know it's not a volunteer. If it is, it's somebody sneaking in. We don't know who it is. There's days that we get people will call, or they'll come back to the front desk. We're like, hey, we hate to cause problems, but like there's a volunteer back there and he looks super rude. I'm like, can you describe him for me? Because like the other day I know I was there by myself. They're like, oh yeah, he's really tall, dark-headed, really like chiseled face, like very skinny. And like, all right, cool, thank you for letting me know. I'll talk to him later about it. And so one of our me and Hallie's little rituals we do is walk back here, we're like, yo Adam, chill. we'll kind of like tell them off, like don't be messing with the guest. We don't care what you do back here, but don't mess with the guest. So it's one of our little weird rituals we have with him. This is Adam's room. I think he's hanging out right now, actually, because they're hearing a lot of scuffling and clicks. But Adam is seen walking around back here. So we have since, because it sounds so weird saying it out loud, because we have such an issue with it, we have begun blocking some of the portions where you can't see back here as much. That's partially because of that, and the other portion is to keep our trashy area covered up with vehicles as well. So that being said, most of the time people will see him walking around back here. It sounds like he's wearing fatigues. People describe him wearing a dark green shirt and cargo pants. They don't ever say it's camo or not, they just say cargo pants. And they say it's tucked in. So it's, people say, hey, we were trying to wave down y'all's volunteers, and he just finally stopped and asked what we wanted, and then went to answer our question. So that's the gist of Adam. Some of our volunteers, our college kids will stay out here late working on vehicles and stuff, and they say that they will hear footsteps and talking in other portions of the building. I can't confirm that portion. The airport fuel farm is right here. So I mean, if you do hear voices, it's usually the airport workers fueling up trucks. So I was kind of blowing that one off. And then, as you can hear probably right now, there's a bunch of tick-tack-tacking, and every time this building warms up, it pops, just like a normal barn would do. The only heat comes from these boxes on the ceiling, and only 2 of them work, I think, right now. They've all kind of started going out. So it's a very interesting area to have weird stuff happen.
This back there somewhere?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't knock over tables. Thanks.
Adam, if you're back here, we're bringing back a device that
Oh, sorry. That was funny.
What, at the table?
Oh,
Yeah, when that table fell over.
That was loud.
Oh, yeah. And then that Zoom, it had to be like.
Getting something, I think.
is that you, Adam? Reset on it. All right, Adam, we're gonna leave this here for you. Is that okay? Hey, Adam, if that is you, can you walk away from it to make it stop making noises?
Step away. One step, Adam.
He's getting closer.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Grab the antenna, Adam. Make all the lights go off.
Please.
Adam, can you stop that? Adam, I need you to stop.
Okay, I'll reset.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Adam, can you make it go off again, please?
Adam, can you say something for me, please? Can you tell me hi? All right, Adam. Is that you? Can I get you to step away from the device?
I was on the other side of the table and it started going off.
Green light?
Yep. Adam? Can you step away from it, please?
Okay, I'll do it too, so.
Okay, Adam, I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna reset it. Unless you walk away. Alright, Adam, I'm resetting it. Okay, Adam, if you want to set it off again, go for it.
So also that happened back in Adam's area was I had a personal experience happen. So while all the guys were kind of around the corner, I walked into the back, which is definitely more of an isolated area, and you're going to see this in the video that we have going on. That I was walking around with the Zoom on, asking Adam questions, trying to get a response from him on anything. While walking, you're going to notice that, there's no type of breeze going on until after I walk past a certain point. You'll hear me off camera go, whoa, that was cool. So if you watch the video closely, you're going to see where there's a piece of tape that all of a sudden starts kind of like waving in the wind a little bit, because there was all of a sudden a really cold, strong enough breeze that came through, and that's what I was reacting to. That same shot we had going for about 20 minutes, just watching the REM pod, trying to get activity on it, and at no other time did we notice a breeze go through. Now, of course, after this happened, we got out the thermals, the flare, and tried to debunk this, because we're like, okay, there has to be a crack somewhere or something like that, breeze coming in, and we couldn't actually see where that was happening. So take a look at the video and let us know your thoughts.
Going back to where we set off.
Alright, Adam, I'll come back over onto the other side of it. Okay, Adam. What was that?
Adam, if that was you, can you do that again? Keep talking to him, okay?
Alright, Adam. Are you getting upset because I'm back here? Are you throwing items? Is that the heat, or is that you, Adam? Can you do that again?
I heard it click back there, but I'm also hearing George from
Yeah, I hear George walking. Adam? Can you do that again? Can you make that noise?
She's gonna click and then thump. And the ring possibly going out there.
Adam, if you don't want me back here, make some noise. Bang on something for me. Adam, I'm beginning to think you're really not back here. Did you hear that?
Yep. That was back by you.
Are you moving around here with me?
That was George.
Whoa, that's strange. So come here, I'm not gonna move. I can hear the heat going.
Okay.
I actually felt a breeze through here, and I look back, you can actually see the, forgot what it is.
Miter or level?
Protractor-ish thing, the
Yeah.
plastic thing, you use to do your
Angles?
angles and
Yeah.
whatnot. It was actually moving, but I felt a breeze through here, but there's nothing that would signify a cool breeze.
There's no.
That was George.
Whoa, that's strange. So come here.
Back in the second hangar, we had caught some activity. There's a entity back there that they have named Adam. And while we were back there, we were hearing the REM pod go off, which was around the corner from us, back by one of the work areas. Devin was watching the GS2 and he noticed some fluctuation in the temperature. So we asked if Adam was in the area, and if he was, if he could kind of step forward so we could see him. At that point, Dave, who was watching the SLS, noticed on the SLS that the stick figure appeared over by the workbench, which is, kind of looked like it was working over by the workbench. It wasn't there, hung around for a little bit, and then disappeared.
Oh, Adam, I like this chair. Is this your chair?
Can you bang on something or drop a tool? Let us know you're at least here with us.
Can you tell me to get out of your chair?
You could knock on a wall. Anything.
We were told you were rude. Now, I grew up in Chicago, so I can be pretty rude myself. So, if you talk to me, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
I'm picking up a couple of cold spots towards the back.
We're at
Straight ahead. So, Adam, if that's you back there near the back wall, can you walk toward me? It's all lit up, but
This program,
yeah.
they've got it to
Oh,
where
got something.
it's flipped around. Probably George.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, right here.
Yeah.
Hi.
I think that would be.
What would that be?
I'm trying to see.
You think it's, you see the hose up here on the top, so it's not picking up the hose.
Uh,
Adam, is that you?
Adam, if that's you, can you tap on the workbench?
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that hose shouldn't.
Yeah, because it was over in this area.
Right.
So one of the locations that we got to investigate while we were there, it's in back by near in the break rooms where there's this little girl. A little brief history on her was she was actually, her and her family were killed on site, but she's the only one that kind of remains around and likes to hang around. So back in this room, we had some trigger objects, really, it was a little doll. We had some balloons that kind of glowed in the dark, just something that kids would like to play with, but we also had our REM pod back there. And throughout the night, we had cameras going where there were hits, we could, went back and look at them. There were hits on it, here and there, nothing around to trigger it. But then at one point in the evening, we were in the next room, we were hearing the REM pod go off. So the team walked in there and the REM pod was going at full blast. Deafening proximity going on there, and it completely drained the battery. So go ahead and take a look at this video and you can see what we caught.
Throw some GS2.
Hi, we're back.
So 8:51. This is the break room in the back supply area. Walking
Thank
into
you.
the proximity REM pod going off.
Look at that.
No. Okay, I'm turning this puppy on.
Gives you an idea.
Yeah.
I lit up like a candle. So, you mind if would you step away from that?
What's that one?
What?
Yeah, that's proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah, all over it.
It's showing a ton of heat in here.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm leaving the camera down there because it has a straight shot for it.
Okay.
My other camera's right there on the other side.
Okay. Perfect.
So it's real close.
Do you like the sound of that? Is that why you keep playing with it? Because you weren't playing with it just a little while ago. Does that sound like a police car to you?
Wow.
Wow.
Can you test it again? Maybe I shouldn't ask. Maybe you should ask.
If you like playing with it, go ahead and make it noise again.
Wow. She just shut it off. We still show
Yeah.
some heat there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's took it all out of it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it completely drained now?
That's a brand new battery.
Go see if you actually walk by if it goes off again.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they just drained the battery.
Touch the antenna.
Yeah. I was a. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you have an extra battery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got batteries
another
out
one
there.
right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got the REM pod right there. All right, we're gonna bring you another one.
Yep. Proximity. Hi, we're back. I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Give you an idea. I am lit up like a candle. So, do you mind if would you step away from that?
That one.
Yeah, that's proximity. Yeah, all over.
It's showing a ton of heat in here.
Oh yeah,
Alright, I'm leaving the camera down there because I have a straight shot for it.
might have the camera right
Wow.
on the other side.
Okay.
So it's real close.
Do you like the sound of that? Is that why you keep playing with it? Because you weren't playing with it just a little while ago. Does that sound like a police car to you?
Wow.
Can you test it again? I shouldn't ask. Maybe we should ask.
If you like playing with it, go ahead and make it noise again.
Wow. She just shut it off. It still shows
Yeah.
some heat there.
Yeah. It's took it all out of it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is it completely drained now?
That's a brand new battery.
Go see if you actually walk by if it goes off again.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they just drained the battery.
That's the antenna.
Yeah. I was just. Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you have an extra battery?
Yeah, I got batteries out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
got a drum pad right there. Alright, we're gonna bring you another one.
So the next location that we got to investigate while there is Raymond's area. That's the name of the gentleman that's back there. So I say gentleman very loosely because he doesn't always have the friendliest feelings to him. So while we were back there, we had our GS2 laser grid going, and you know, when you're watching the video, you're going to see where it looks like it's going in and out, the main laser dot on the wall. We were thinking that first it was just equipment failure, but as time was going on, we noticed that it was responding to questions, kind of asking it to, you know, you step in front of the dot, make it disappear and come back, and it was, you know, definitely responding to that. So check out the video and let me know.
I'll be glad to leave back here.
And we've got 2 cat balls out there that you guys can play with.
Yeah, there's 3 guys in this room. We heard that you like to push guys around, so feel free to do that. If you want us to leave,
I haven't felt anything back here like I've felt on the other side.
When we were setting that over there,
yeah,
the proximity on the REM pod went off.
really.
Not the temperature, but the proximity. So I set the camera right on it.
Yeah.
So that camera should be able to go until 10:30, because it's 8:30 now. So it's got a 2-hour battery.
We can move over to that room and try some stuff.
He feels that little girl won't do anything while you're there.
Really?
So we put that stuff out there. And
It's.
What?
There was, I saw a red light up in this area.
If you're moving around back there, can you move around again for us? We think we might have seen you.
why is it blocking that out?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's blocking out the center dot, but it's not coming out up here.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna walk.
I'm glad you guys saw it because that's what I saw.
Yeah. See, it's definitely catching you, Dave.
Okay. And I
We'll have
can block
to-
out that center light.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that's.
We'll review the video here.
Yeah.
and see what.
Because I'm glad it, all of us saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all saw that light go out.
It was pretty brief, but it was enough to.
If you walked by the light, can you walk back by it and black it out again, please?
There's some cold going on up there. If that's you moving around, can you come closer? Can you come towards us? Or block out the red light on the wall. Make it go dim.
Or any of the grid parts.
Is it? No.
There
It
goes.
did it again.
Wow. Thank you.
On command. Thank you.
Can you step away from it now? Let it shine again?
Oh, look at that.
This thing's charged, right?
Huh?
It is charged.
Yeah, I
right?
charged it
Yeah.
completely. And there's nothing over there
There's
that's
nothing over there.
potentially
No, there's nothing.
okay.
There's nothing. No, there was.
See, now
Nothing's flying
I'm
back
seeing
here.
the grids come back now, too. Can you step away from the center? Let the grids really shine.
Brought it back up, and now it's back down.
Yep, it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Wow.
Took it out.
And it's showing up with cold over there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to call out what's on that because this with the IR, it's not seeing it. So it's
Okay, so it's not.
it's gone. Now it's back.
It's back. Can you block out the light again for us? Step in front of the red center dot. Show us that you're really here. A lot of cold going on up there.
Yeah, you're getting cold out, so I wasn't.
Block out the red light, please. There it goes. A little bit more.
REM pod. REM pod's going on.
Is it?
Block it out completely.
Just so we have it on camera, can I borrow your flashlight? I'm gonna walk back there so we can actually see what we're working with here. So just walking back here so we can actually see the area to show what's all back here. Big open areas. It's hot. There's heat right there. So this is what's back here. Nothing in front of that. But when you're walking right here, you're going to feel the heat.
You guys feel the heat?
Yeah, there's a vent right there shooting right down for heat wise.
It's showing cold right there.
Oh. Cat ball.
It's completely out. It's completely out. The light.
Did you kick the cat off?
I did. I'm sorry. Can you come back out again, please?
There it is.
Thank you.
Make it go brighter, please. Step away from it.
I'm gonna get back over here so I can make sure I have it on video. Straight spots with you.
Yep. I can barely see it. Can you bring it brighter? Make it brighter?
Once you could feel the heat when you were over there?
There's the vent right above.
Yeah, but did you feel the heat coming out of it?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go back
Okay.
there.
So I was wondering if the temperature shouldn't interfere with the beam because the beam has.
No, I mean, and it's a good distance away from it. Like,
Yeah.
Devin, stop where the heat feel it. Do you feel it right there?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if you look back, there's a hole in the ceiling right up there.
that's where it is. That's where I feel the heat in that hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
When you're working off of a laser,
Mm-hmm.
so that it shouldn't affect
The laser shouldn't affect.
Turn off the GS2 and turn it back on. You shouldn't be dying like that. I mean, it's not that hard.
Okay, hang on. It'll have to
Can you make the
go.
light go off again, please? I'm closer now, so I want to see you do
Hang-
it up close.
Hold on.
It's got to go through its preset.
Okay.
So wave where you're at, so I know where you're at. Okay, thank you.
See me?
Yep.
Okay. If you were making the light dim earlier, can you do it again, please? I'm closer, and I want to see you do this. Block out the laser for me.
No, is it still calibrating?
No, it's showing a ton of heat.
I
Which
can't
makes
see it with
sense, it's
IR.
back there, right?
Right, but also the heater's on, so
Yeah,
it's cooling
yeah.
down. But
But we didn't have that before.
we didn't have that before.
Mm-mm. And actually, you can see the grids better this time.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there was. Well, it's kind of weird though that they. I was wondering if I was thinking maybe there was something wrong with it the first round, but it's weird that it was actually blocking out.
Yeah. Why did it black out?
Can you make the lasers not so bright? Can you block it out?
I'm gonna turn up the sensitivity.
Okay.
So right here, it's down to 2 degrees, one way or the other. And now it's up to 6, so it has to be a 6-degree change.
Alright, you made this change earlier. You do it again. You make the lights dim as much as you can. If you need to take energy from that box where everybody's standing, feel free to drain the battery. Just make the light dim for us.
Yeah, because I normally have mine at 3 degrees. So 2 to 3 degrees, that way it can change 2 to 3 degrees. You see it, it comes on. And the light is flickering. No, it's not. Maybe my eyes.
Can you dim out the light again? Can you walk in front of it and make it go black, please?
Maybe you won't do it because,
Devin's down there.
yeah.
If I walk back to where everybody's at, will you dim the lights, please?
See, and that's why. Hang on, stop. Back up just a little bit. It has to get really close before it sees a 6-degree change.
It's like right on me.
Yeah, so that's why I keep it down here like at 3 degrees. Now you see the changes in the temperature around it. Now you see that a little bit better.
Alright. I'm gone now. Can you please block out the light? Dim it out again for us? We think you did it earlier, but we're not sure.
I turned down the R.
Come on. Just want you to block out the light. If you do that, we can leave you alone.
You got motion on it.
Good.
Come on.
Good.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you brought it back too. Thank you.
We got that on video?
Yep.
Sweet.
I have this one. She's got the one in the back one.
Cool. What was his name back here?
Raymond,
Raymond, was that you?
you can touch that little box right there. It'll go off, make a noise. It won't hurt you either.
It's right on the table, Raymond. Let's go up and touch that antenna. It'll allow us to know you're here.
Come on, Raymond.
It has energy too, Raymond, so if you need some more energy.
We're getting less activity.
Well, we told him we'd leave it.
All right, Raymond. We told you we'd leave if you do it, so we appreciate it. We'll come back later, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you, Raymond.
much.